So you guys been asking a lot for an intro tutorial, like how to make an intro that is cohesive with your drop, that leads into your drop. So here it is. Basically my method for creating an intro is actually not starting with the intro, but having the drop ready and then go and work my way backwards. Just because for me, the drop is kind of like the DNA of the track, is like the identity of the track, what people want to hear. So having the drop ready kind of informs the decisions that I'm going to be making in the intro. With that being said, I'm going to start with the synths. So the first sound that you hear is this one. Just right away, you can tell how I'm playing into the motif of the drop. Basically, in the drop, you have like this D sharp to D motif. This is coming from my Taiki Nulight tutorial. So I'm reusing that drop and created the intro from that drop. But you can see that I'm playing the same notes in here, and I'm also adding some extra notes. So just to show you how that one was made, I started with the saw wave. Then I added another one with 7 semitones up and a sub that is going directly out with -1 octave. Mind that I'm playing the octave 1 in here, just for you to know. I then added a filter, low 12 with a cutoff around 1200, resonance 19%, drive 20%. Notice that the release is around 240 milliseconds. I have mono, legato, and portamento, 60 milliseconds, and then on the effects I have distortion, tube, 85 and 65%, and then multiband compression. The most important part comes in the post-processing outside of Serum, because I'm doing a lot of different automations with stuff like reverb and delay, and you will notice that I'm going to be using a lot of different automations for the creation of the drop and the build up as well. So in here you can see how I start with the sound a little bit filtered and the filter opening up slowly. I also have a delay automation with the feedback and dry wet, kind of like doing this shape as the note finishes. Then I increase the dry wet and the feedback, so that they kind of linger a little bit when the note ends. Same with the reverb. This is a reverb throw rack that I use all the time, and it just creates like a lot of nice ambience. Then I have this is going to be more on the build up part, but I also have like a gain reduction automation in here. But yeah, this is kind of like the main sound that you hear, but also I have some other stuff that is kind of like making everything nice and cohesive. For example, you can see that these are some stuff that I bounce to audio. It just keeps doing that all the time until the drop comes. And this comes from me taking this bass one sound and running it through a lot of reverb. So just to show you how that was made, if maybe you don't have it clear, I just went here, copy and pasted this, took like the first portion of the sound, and then I disabled this one momentarily and I enabled this one momentarily as well. Notice that it's like a long decay and a lot of wet. And so it creates that long tail. And what I did was in Ableton 12, you can just like straight up copy the empty space where the reverb is. And then in a new audio channel, or in whatever audio channel you have, you can paste the bounce audio. And then what I had is this long audio. Let me make that louder for you. So everything that I did was just like cut the main sound and just leave the tail. And I use that as a background element, just like ambience. And just by me taking like a little part of the drop and put it in the intro like that, it just makes things very cohesive. So I actually did that with this other one as well. So it's the exact same process, but I used that sound instead. So once again, I just went into another part of the arrangement. I disabled this one and enabled this one temporarily, and I just, copied that reverb tail, pasted in a new track, and that's all I'm doing in there. And it just helps a ton. Another thing that I have in here is just like an ambience sustain sound, pretty much in the background, but also helps with the tension of everything. And this one is pretty simple. This is just a saw wave with 3 octaves up, 16 voices of unison, and I'm filtering the top end so that it's not too harsh. That's what it sounds like. I just have a little bit of reverb in here, but that's pretty much it. And just once again helps with the background and creating some tension. So that's for like the main intro leads. Only in the build-up I add another one, which is like a teaser of this one, because I took the same patch and I just modified it a little. And I added some delay and reverb to it, and this is very important. I cut the low end. If not, it would sound like that, and I don't want it all that low end in there. It's just teasing the drop sound. I'm not gonna break down the sound design of this drop, just because, as I said, this comes from my Taiki Nulight video. So if you wanna dive into the sound design, you can check the video directly. But if you want to play with this whole project, I have it uploaded on my Patreon along with all my other project files from YouTube. And so check the link in the description if you're interested. So next, let's talk about drums. In here, you can see that I have a top drums and also kick and snare. So you don't always have to have drums in your intro, but I do feel like it makes it more DJ friendly. So I just put drums on this one. I think it sounded good. For the top drums, I think it just helps to keep things moving, especially when they have like a nice rhythm like this. Without them, you can, get like a more mysterious vibe, which could work, but in my case, I prefer to have like some rhythmic patterns from the drums as well that carries through the build up and ultimately the drop, because at the end of the day, like, those drums are also playing in the drop, but with extra drums as well. So like extra top drums like this and that one and this loop. So once again, I'm just kind of like teasing the drop in very different ways, and having the drop ready just helps me out a ton with that, because I'm like, okay, I have the top drums ready to go, so let's just reuse that in the intro in whatever way I can. So yeah, kick, snare, some top drums, and then in the build I added this snare, which has like a couple of automations. It has this EQ opening up like this, and this shifter doing like a frequency shifting modulation, so basically pitching things up, and the auto pan moving things left and right in the stereo field. Yeah, that's a trick that I like to do a lot, like put a very high pace snare and just start very filter and opening it up as it, the builds progresses and it builds more tension. Something that I'm doing once again with reverb is I have this reverb throw automation on the main 3 groups. So the synths, the drums, and the fills, all of them have this same reverb throw automation at the end of the build, where it's like just a lot of reverb building and building. So let me show you what I mean. In here you can see how in this one it's pretty prominent how I start with no reverb and I start building and building. I'm gonna make it more aggressive so you can see what it's doing. So it's just creating like this washed out effect without it. It's just pretty dry. With it is pretty nice, and you know, it creates a lot of tension. Same in here with the synths. And same with the drums. Something that is important though is that I'm cutting it right before the pre-drop. Yeah, then just goes completely silent. Something that I'm also doing in the build up to tease the drop is I am adding this in the build up. Once again, EQ automation. And also increasing the amount of erosion slowly. And it also has its own reverb throw automation, as you can see. So playing a lot with EQs, reverb, and stuff like that, once again. Now I think we can go to the fills, so let's check that part out. I have some vocal effects like that type of stuff. I am also teasing the pre-drop vocal, which is that one. And I want to show you something really cool. I'm using the telephone vocal preset from Ableton. Basically, if you just look up telephone vocal, it should pop up. Like it's this filter, like it's this EQ basically, and it just creates that kind of like telephone vocal effect. And so I'm using that to also create some tension. Without it, sounds like that. So with it, sounds like this. Without it, one more time. Yeah, stuff like that really helps to, you know, keep things tense and like, you know, helping with the energy before the drop. Then I also have some crashes with reverb, dub echo, which is also something from Ableton. You can just type dub echo and it gives you like this nice echo effect, very characteristic. I have a white noise going up. I'm using operator and just choosing the white noise wave, and then with the filter I'm just making an automation so that it goes down and then up like this. It creates like a riser on its own, and then I have a riser sample. And all of that just helps a ton. So let me show you what the intro would sound without the fills, just to get an idea of how important it is. Now let's play it with the fills. Same if I muted like the reverb hits and like the ambience sustain, you would think that those are just like background ear candy, but it just helps a lot. It just, you know, make things more interesting. The background sounds less empty. So yeah, if you like this project, I would recommend you to watch the Taiki Nulight tutorial so you can see the breakdown of all the sound design of this drop. Tap the video on the screen and I'll see you there.